HIMS and Hers Health is a company that is up by almost 50% over the past month. Now today they are down by 4.25%. And so today in this video I want to figure out whether this huge rise in price is rational and the company will keep rising and buying the stock right now might yield great return, or whether it is irrational and the company will fall within the next few months. And to do this, as always, we'll use our stock valuation spreadsheets. Now, the first thing we can see is that HIMS isn't a dividend company. And that, of course, makes sense as they are a quite new company. They entered the market in 2019, and so they have to direct a lot of their free cash flow into innovation. Now, moving straight to the 9-pair analysis, we can see that it isn't looking great with HIMS. They have a rating of 4 out of 8. Now, the first thing we can see is the negative 5-year PE ratio and the negative 5-year price to free cash flow. Though if we have a closer look at these two pillars, we can see that the PE is currently sitting at 76 and that the price to free cash flow is currently sitting at 121. So they are not in the negative anymore, but they are still very, very expensive for my taste. Now we can also have a look at the growth of the company. The revenue has been growing at a rate of 73% yearly over the past 5 years, free cash flow at 83% yearly, and net income has been decreasing at a rate of 42.70% yearly. Now we can have a closer look first at the revenue, and indeed we can see that that has been rising at extreme rates over the past 5 years. Now if we have a look at the net income and the free cash flow, we can see that the net income has been sitting in the negative over the past 5 years, but has been climbing towards zero, and the free cash flow as well has been sitting in the negative, but in 2023 it has been at positive 56 million, and year over year it climbed by 186%. So we can see that even though the company was in the negative over the past 5 years, they are increasing their profits at very high rates. They also have a very high 5-year profit margin, which is great. Now normally I wouldn't want to see a company selling out shares, but as HIMS is a new company, it makes sense, as by selling out shares they generate the free cash flow they need to invest back into the business. And finally, their long-term liabilities over the 5-year free cash flow negative dividends is sitting at negative 0.11, and the reason for that is because of the mostly negative free cash flow over the past 5 years. But if we have a closer look, we can see that their long-term liabilities are sitting at only 9.5 million, which is nothing compared to the 58 or so million they generated in 2023. But now let's jump to calculating their intrinsic value, first using the Grams formula revised. We will plug in the 5-year earnings growth estimate at almost 18% and get an intrinsic value of $13.80, which is 137% lower than the current trading price. Now for the second valuation model, we take the free cash flow of the company and we calculate the future growth rate of 20%. After that, plugging in the discount rate at 7.7%, we get an intrinsic value at $19.87. Now for the multiples valuation, we compare HIMS to 3 of its competitors and get an intrinsic value of $11.98. Now finally, we will skip the dividend discount model as HIMS doesn't pay out any dividends, and we will arrive straight to the ultimate valuation, where we average out the 3 valuation models and get an intrinsic value of $15.22, which is 53.53% lower than the current trading price. Now I'm not saying that HIMS doesn't have the potential to grow, it's just that they are currently very overvalued, both compared to their earnings, their free cash flow, and compared to their peers. So I do believe that the company will fall in the next few months, and I wouldn't recommend buying it. But of course, if you want to do more research on this company and want to buy it anyways, maybe you can prove me wrong. Maybe the company will rise in the next few months, but personally I won't add it to my own portfolio. And with that, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps me out